Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen AHMADIYYAH'S show. I'm your host, Queen AHMADIYYAH'S, and this is your first dose of your daily vitamins. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so that you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Queen AHMADIYYAH'S. You can also follow the Queen AHMADIYYAH'S fan page, and you can follow me on Twitter at DGoddess27. All right. Hello, Cherokee Descendant Dale, Dervis, LeVar, Dragon Lily, Melanated Brown, Omari, Beatzilla, Louise, Ramsey 7, Christopher. All right. Thank you, Christopher. Says, my queen, you look beautiful today. Thank you, beloved. Ladybug 77, Vince, I am from the UK. All right. Vince says, Queen, you look flawless and royalty as always. Thank you. You all are being so nice. Silent D, Lynn, Howard, Buzzer Cam H1, Nita's and Mike's World, Just Biz. All right. Carl Kilcrease, I see you, Queen Shay, Queen Fab. Let's get into it, Claudette. Everyone, please get those likes up, all right? Everyone get the likes up. Hello, Melanated Brown and Nessie, Big Cat Sister Gregory. So let's get into it, honey, because y'all already know. I already know why y'all here. I already know why y'all here, right? Dave Chappelle being attacked on stage, honey. Also nefarious. And so Los Angeles police have identified the man, by the way, but we'll talk about that in a second. Let's go ahead and go straight to the footage of the nefariousness. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Let's get into it. All right, here we go.
Details. It's really disturbing. Details of another public attack on a big-name comic. We're talking about Dave Chappelle, who was doing his act at the Hollywood Bowl last night when a man got on stage and tackled him. Chappelle is okay, but the attack on him came less than 6 weeks after Will Smith slapped Chris Rock during the Oscars. Our national correspondent, Jerika Duncan, has the story.
This video captures the moment a spectator rushed the stage and tackled comedian Dave Chappelle. He was performing at the Netflix as a Joke live comedy festival in Hollywood. The encounter took place right as Chappelle was wrapping up his set. He appeared to be uninjured, and security quickly apprehended his attacker. Witnesses reported the man was then kicked and punched repeatedly by security guards. Afterward, Chappelle brushed off the incident.
Oh, now everybody comes out for the curtain call.
And thanked comedian and actor Jamie Foxx for checking on his well-being just as the chaos unfolded.
Whenever you were in trouble, Jamie Foxx would show up in the sheriff's hat.
Video of the aftermath shows a massive police presence as the suspect, who was allegedly armed, could be seen on a stretcher as he was taken into custody. But the scary moment took a comedic turn as Chris Rock, who was slapped by actor Will Smith at the Oscars, took the stage.
Was that Will Smith?
For CBS Mornings, Jerika Duncan, New York.
I mean, they're making light of it.
Have jokes, but that's not funny. That was my concern when we first
talked
saw
about
Will.
that.
We did talk about
We said
that.
this
is this going to open the door for other people to do something stupid like that?
It just takes one, and now you see copycats.
Glad that Dave is okay.
Yes.
How ironic that Chris happened to be in the audience. That
I thought that was hilarious.
I don't think.
And Jamie Foxx.
And Jamie. I don't
In
think
the
security
sheriff's
needs
hat.
to beat the crap out of you. They could have just picked him up and taken
him away.
But he was armed.
The act itself is not funny.
No.
But
yeah,
it is funny though. You look at the comedians making jokes about it.
Well, that's what they do, right? They take the worst
Jamie
things in life and they turn
bring
them
humor
into comedy because you got to laugh. And if you don't laugh, you're going to cry.
Gonna cry.
Glad Dave is okay.
Glad he's okay. That's for
we
sure.
are very happy that he's okay.
Spreading fallout from that stunning, and stunning is a word.
Okay, now here's the thing. It's good that they can laugh about it because it could have been a whole lot worse. That man who ran up on stage and attacked Dave Chappelle, he in fact had a knife in his hand. Okay, he had a knife in his hand. He could have stabbed Dave Chappelle. He could have injured him badly. He even could have killed him. All right, because he was able to get on the stage and make contact with him. So thank God they can laugh about it. But here's the thing. I'm not going to say that that's due to Will Smith, okay? Because there's been other instances where people have been attacked on stage during their performance. Maybe not such big names like Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock, but these things have happened before. So I'm not going to blame that on Will Smith, right? And say he started a trend. That's just someone nefarious who wanted to do whatever they wanted to do. Maybe they don't like Dave Chappelle because of the things he's been accused of saying, you know, about the trans community or whatever. It could be something to do with that. Who knows? At the end of the day, Shawana said, Kale King with that stale stuffing on. Okay? The lamestream media tried to reduce Dave's situation with that attacker. Right. Gregory says Will Smith didn't open the door. Shite like this happen all the time. What happened? The door is no security rushed the stage with when Will slapped Chris Rock. There are consequences for nefarious actions. Absolutely. Absolutely. And so the man came there, you know, and attacked Dave Chappelle, but he's the one that left on the stretcher. But let's talk about it because they have released information on him. There was an update. Los Angeles police have identified the arrested man who allegedly attacked Dave Chappelle on stage at the Hollywood Bowl during the Netflix is a Joke festival. Police say it's 23-year-old Isaiah Lee, and he was taken into custody for assault with a deadly weapon on Tuesday night. Now, the deadly weapon in question is a plastic replica gun that shoots forth a blade, as far as they're told. So even though it wasn't a real gun, because some people did say in the beginning before they found out what he actually had, some people did say that he had a gun, but it was actually a gun that had a blade that you can eject from it, right? And so clearly dangerous. But they say Lee was taken to the LAPD Hollywood Division. Law enforcement sources confirmed this, and he's been held on a $30,000 bail, according to LAPD Public Information Officer Mendez. Okay, and they say, of course, social media exploded with all of this information. It's clearly trending. And so let me tell you something. They say accounts posted online said the man was corralled by security and possibly fellow comedian Jamie Foxx. Now, they did say in another report that I read that Jamie Foxx, in fact, didn't only come on stage to check on Dave Chappelle, but he, in fact, ran over and helped security restrain the man. Okay, so those kicks that he got, maybe Jamie got one in too. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, so they said Jamie Foxx did help security. Now, Los Angeles police confirmed to ABC7 that they responded to a call at the bowl around 10:45 p.m. They indicated that the man was taken into custody. He was reportedly armed with a knife and with a gun and a knife, is what they said. Okay, in a posted clip, apparently after the incident, Chappelle is heard to quip, "It was a trans man," a reference to his own transphobic comments in his Netflix special, The Closer, and the uproar, protest, and anger that ensued. Now, videos posted by attendees outside the show after they'd gotten their phones back seemed to show the alleged assailant being loaded into an ambulance with his arm mangled. Another person caught the end of the show on video where Dave Chappelle and Jamie Foxx, who apparently rushed on the stage to help apprehend the man for going after Chappelle. They said whenever you're in trouble, Jamie Foxx will show up with a sheriff's hat on. So he says, Jamie Foxx said, "I thought that was part of the show at first. I grabbed the back of that ninja's head." Dave Chappelle said, "I grabbed the back of that ninja's head and his hair was spongy." Later, the comedian sounded a note of both shock and levity, saying, "I've been doing this for 35 years. I just stomped a ninja backstage. I've always wanted to do that." And so then Jamie Foxx said, "Listen, I just want to say this man is an absolute genius. We've got to make sure we protect him at all times. For every comedian who comes out here, this means everything. You're a genius. You're a legend. And we're not going to let nothing happen to you." After Foxx left the stage, Chappelle possibly thinking about all the nerves and emotions as fans would exit the show, said to the crowd, "Everybody compose yourselves." And then representatives for Netflix did not respond to requests for comment. So that is all so crazy, right? Clearly nefarious. Now, what did that man exactly, what did he just exactly have in mind? First of all, I would like to know why he did that. That was absolutely crazy. What do you all think? Now, put it once in the chats if you think that this is something that Will Smith started a trend on. I mean, feel free. If you disagree with me, that's fine. What do you all think? Do you think that has something to do with Will Smith, what he started, or what? I'm just curious. Hold on while I look for something. I'm looking for this other video. Everyone's saying no. Absolutely. I don't think so either. I just think the man was clearly crazy. I don't know what his motive was, but I'd like to find out. I would absolutely like to find out. Hold on. Likes up, everyone. Now, there was one video that I saw where they played the audio of where someone was calling 911 when all this was going on. You know, and I'm going to tell you like this. Let's not be surprised if some lamestream media or certain people try to use this to further demonize Will Smith. Okay, I wouldn't be surprised at all if they absolutely try to use this to demonize Will Smith further. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to share my screen because this might be a different video. They had Will Smith open the door to attack comedians when people are offended. Shalene said they had Will Smith to open the door to that. That's what you think? Okay. They've been after Dave Chappelle for a good minute, says Maestro Dan. Absolutely, I believe so. Poor Will, he will go down in infamy, says. Will Smith will not be working for a long time, says Christopher. Nicole says, yes, that part, Queen. Absolutely. And Damien says they are still talking about it today. Absolutely. So they're going to use this to further demonize Will Smith. Pay attention, all right? Pay attention. And now, people are so thin-skinned and easily offended. Yes, they are. I just want to know why this guy did it. What was he thinking? Why was he so angry? Hold on, let's go to this footage and see if there's anything new on here. Like, like, and share. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, if you enjoy the commentary. And if you're watching this video and you've been watching for longer than 5 minutes and you're still tuned in, you need to get those likes up, all right? You need to get those likes up, all right? I'm not charging you all. I'm not asking for donations or any of that. So the least you can do is like the video for the Queen's hard work. Thank you in advance.
Bowl, you're looking at aerial pictures here of a man who rushed the stage while comedian Dave Chappelle was performing. He tackled Dave Chappelle on stage. Chappelle appearing in a comedy show there to a packed house. He has been there over the weekend. I actually attended one of the shows on Saturday night. That is the suspect who's been loaded onto an ambulance. According to witnesses, he rushed onto stage while Chappelle was performing, and we have reports that the person was armed with a gun and a knife. We do not use. No information on whether Chappelle himself may have been injured, but one ambulance has been removed from the scene, and that was the suspect. And we'll try to get as much information about this attack on Dave Chappelle, the comedian, at the Hollywood Bowl. And as soon as we get that information, we will continue to bring that to you.
History. Thank you, son. It was a trans man. I'm back there squeezing that nigga too. Niggas, I seen Busta Rhymes on it. It's like, that's how you do it, dog.
That's not he in the car right now. That's a different dude. Bro. The other dude was please exit this way. Frank. Hey, can I barricade that old man right there? Grab that old man right there. Frank, get your ass over here. Frank! Frank! What are you doing? You better get in trouble. Hey, let's back everyone up here. Let's do this, sir. Back up, guys. What the fuck? Get your hands off me, man. What the fuck? Come on, y'all. Get your fucking hands off. Back up, guys. Let's go. Bro, get your fucking hands off. Let's go. Everybody, let's go. Get your... I didn't put my arm on the fucking ground. Let's go. Bro, get out the way. Nobody's violating the law. Bro, you want... Hey, back up, back up. Pretty good.
History.
What was going on with his arm? It looked like it was... It looked like his arm was twisted on backwards. Did you all see that? Beatzilla said things didn't turn out how he planned. Clearly not. Claudette said a noodle arm. G.A. FitHealth said he got dismantled. Black World TV said called whoop arse. Oh my goodness. Not noodle arm. You are crazy. Now, GL says could be a distraction. The Will Smith reference should have stopped weeks ago. Right. They're not going to let that die. I want you to pay attention. As soon as Will Smith's name starts to die down about that whole debacle at the Oscars, now it's right back in more BS. Okay? Now, I think Will is over in India somewhere relaxing, trying to regroup and get himself together. But the nefarious clearly continues, honey. All right? And I'm sure he'll be made a scapegoat. Nicole says, I'm hollering, dismantle. Spook TV Media said they should have did Will like that. No. Silent D said they Humpty Dumpty his arse and then put his arm on backwards. Christopher says, seriously, Queen, can Dave sue the security team for the venue? Oh, yeah, he could. He absolutely could. Here's the thing. Didn't they have... Ray Love said the rubber band man. Honey 69 says, Royal's so nefarious, as the Queen would say. Yes, clearly, okay? Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Wait a minute. Hold up. What now? Who said that? Hold on. I got to see who put that comment in here. Hold on. You all are, this chat is unmatched. James Brown said, was that a transformer? Listen, you all are so nefarious. Oh my goodness. They should be monitoring the stage. Stretch. Wait a minute. This is the best one yet. Just Biz called him Stretch Armstrong. Listen to this. Venus says, all comedians who stated that what happened to Chris Rock couldn't have happened to them will be tried. Mark my words. Oh my goodness. This is absolutely crazy. All right? Absolutely crazy. Whew. You all are too much. I cannot. I absolutely cannot. Real China Doll said mannequin arm ass. Mr. Fantastic couldn't get that one out, says Richard. Oh my goodness, you all are awful. Yes, Craig, the chat is hilarious. I'm telling you, honey, this chat is unmatched. Okay, that's the fact. This chat is absolutely unmatched, undefeated, right? Hold on, honey, because somebody just put something in the chat, and I'm about to look this up. Hold on, let me look into this. It seems like I saw that story about the teacher putting their hands on the student. I saw that somewhere. Anyway, I have to find that and talk about it later, honey. But anyway, let's try to move on, people. Okay? Let's try to move on. Now, here's the question. Are they going to talk about this for the next 4 months like they have with Will? I'm just curious. Oh, so crazy. It's like, anyway, I cannot. I absolutely cannot. You all are too crazy. Okay, so listen to this. No, this is the story I saw. Now, somebody put in the chat that another teacher put their hands on a student. I'm going to have to look into that. But here's what I found. A slur-spewing parent caught on video threatening to knock out a Black middle school student. That's the story that I saw. So these people are just getting out of pocket, putting their hands on people's kids and all that. Hold on. Let me see if I can find that video. Let me see if I can find that. Everyone bear with me for just a moment. Let me see if I can pull that footage up real quick. Oh, the devils are so busy. You know what's going to happen? I'm going to tell you like this. First of all, here's my thing. Where was the security that's in fact in front of the stage? Because usually there's security like lined up in front of the stage. Was no one there? Were they lax? Were they not paying attention? How did that man get up on that stage and touch Dave Chappelle so quickly? That's cause for concern because we're laughing and making jokes because it's funny after the fact because he didn't get hurt. But like I said, that man could have absolutely injured him seriously or even killed him. Okay? He was right. He was literally touching him with the knife in his hand. And so my thing is, where was the security in front of the stage? That's just all crazy. Hold on, let me see if this is the footage right here. Because I have the article. Is this it? Yep. All right, hold on. I'm going to share my screen. Likes up, please like and share.
Hey, listen, Negro, get the my face. Watch your cracker, Negro.
Now on Just One Station, an adult on a racist rant aimed at a South Florida student. 7 Samantha Sosa is live in South Miami where the confrontation happened. Samantha.
Lorena, this student's mother is now furious. She says at one point her son was scared, so now she has the school and the police involved.
You better get the away from me.
Miami-Dade schools investigating after a parent slung racial slurs and foul language at a child. The argument was caught on video. The mother of one of the students furious.
I was boiling. I was very upset. I was disappointed. This is not the way a person should talk to a child.
The tirade happening outside South Miami Middle Community School. We're bleeping out swearing and the slur.
Away from me. All right, I'll go to jail, but I'll knock your
Tuesday, the teen's parents went to the school to complain, and when they tried to confront the man from the video, he drove away.
It was okay to say that to my child, but now it's not okay to speak to the parent.
It happened Monday morning just outside the school on Southwest 67th Avenue and 60th Street. This mother, who asked to remain anonymous, says the man accused the children of hitting his car, and her son felt threatened.
He jumped out the car at them and started calling them all types of racial slurs. And then he acted like he was going to the trunk to go get something, so the kids got scared and backed away.
And that's when her son's friend started taking video.
Bro, what you just said? You heard me?
He started coming at them and talking about he'll beat their ass, calling them and just kept coming at them.
Things didn't get physical, but the man continued on with his racist rant.
Listen, Negro, get the my face. Watch your cracker, Negro, cracker. Hey, yo. I'm proud to be a cracker, dog. I'm happy when I see in the mirror every day. Are you? Are you happy when you see black in the mirror?
This is just ridiculous. And my child who should not have to come to school and deal with this. At the end of the day, like I say, you got to deal with the parents. You need to talk to us. You don't talk to him like that.
So again, the school now looking into this. Miami-Dade County Public Schools releasing a statement that said they are committed to fostering a welcoming learning environment for all students. For now, we are live in South Miami. Samantha Sosa, 7.
Florida and Georgia. Florida and Georgia are so full of racism. All right. So here's the thing. You should teach your children when encountering a racist demon such as that, not to engage them, not to walk up on them. You see, those devils carry guns. They feel emboldened when they feel like they have the ups on you. They'll kill your child and then lie and say they felt threatened and get away with it. I mean, let's not forget George Zimmerman. He killed 17-year-old Trayvon Martin, who was unarmed. Now, clearly he attacked Trayvon and Trayvon fought back. And when he was winning the fight, George Zimmerman pulled out a gun and shot him and killed him. And he got away with that. And you think they don't remember those things? Approaching one of those devils is what I wouldn't advise a teenager to do. I'd start recording them, and when they drove away, get their tag or whatever, so the parents can go file something against them with the police department or whatever. But I wouldn't, I would teach my children not to engage them, okay? Because they don't mind killing Black children, okay? That's what they don't do. All they look for is an excuse, all right? That's it. The school is lying, and of course it's Florida. Yes, of course it is. Of course it is. They feel emboldened by their complexion for the protection. Mm-hmm. Terrence said, am I happy looking in the mirror? Right. For shite show, it wouldn't be anything else. Here's the thing. This is the thing. You have to understand. Many of these racist people think that, in fact, Black people don't want to be Black. They absolutely feel that way. Honestly, they think that, or they want us to feel, so dismayed because we're Black. Like we want to be them. That's what they want you to think, and that's what they tell themselves. That's when he said, oh, I feel proud looking in the mirror. No, you don't. You know how I know he doesn't? Because no racist person does. The only reason that racists are racist is because they look in the mirror, honey, and they do not like what they see. And they hate you because of that, okay? Because if they were drenched in melanin, they'd be so thrilled and happy. That's why you see many of racist devils walking around trying to look like us. The Klansman with locks in his hair, right? The man who went and got some type of injections to make himself look as dark as me, but it didn't turn out the way he expected. Okay? They go and get collagen injections and all that. So no, racist people are nothing but haters. They hate on Black people. Whenever someone doesn't like you for absolutely no logical explanation or reason, and you've done absolutely nothing to them to encourage their hatred, that means they're jealous. And that's absolutely what racist people are. And in fact, instead of calling them racist, we should call them haters from now on, right? Because that's what they are. They just hate on us. And no racist person is happy with who and what they are. That's a fact. I want you to pay attention. If they were, they would not be so upset by the truth about their own history. They would not be trying to make laws to keep people from speaking about critical race theory. They would not just willfully, woefully walk up to Black people and call you the N-word. They would not just try to harass you and act as though you're in places and spaces that you don't belong when they have no provocation to do so, and nor do they have any probable cause. They would not do that, right? And even the race soldiers who go out here and target and harass and brutalize and kill Black people, they hate themselves as well. Because if they were happy with themselves, they would not have time to hate on us. You see, happy people, I want you to pay attention. Because one thing I guarantee you will never see is a happy person, a self-satisfied person, a self-assured, confident person. You'll never see them hating on someone else. Miserable people are the ones who hate. People who have low self-esteem, people who suffer from, self-loathsomeness, people who have complexes, people who don't like the way they look, the way their life is going. Those are the people who hate. And that's what all racist people are. I don't care if they're millionaires and billionaires. At the end of the day, money can only buy you so much. It cannot truly make you be something that you aren't. And they hate that. Okay? You can go get all the tans you want. You can go get as much collagen put in your lips as you choose. You will never, ever, under any stretch of their imaginations, be us. And they know that. And that's why they hate. Okay? For any person who is racist, that's just what it is. Not that we did anything to them. And you would think that after the nefarious history of what their ancestors did to our ancestors, how dare they have the gall? How dare they hate on us? If anyone should be angry and mad and outraged and carrying on like idiots, it would be us, right? Or it should be us. You would expect that. Funny thing is, those of us who speak out against them and their practices and their anger and hatred, they want to try to deflect and project themselves onto us and act as though we're the ones that are wrong. And as if we should be so forgiving and as if we're holding on and harboring hate. That's not what we're doing. What we're doing is reacting to the hate that they give. That's what it is. I'm not going to sit here and take your hatred with a smile. I'm not going to sit here and take your racism like it's something good, like I just have to overlook it. That's what I'm not going to do. All right? I'm not the field ninja. I'm not the house ninja. I'm the runaway slave. And so with that all being said, I will address them and their racism as such. So they can miss me with it. Okay? I'm not going to be complicit and try to coddle them and act as if they don't know what they're doing and they don't mean to be offensive. That's another thing that really gets under my skin when they try to act as though, oh, I didn't know that was offensive. Of course you knew it was offensive. Please. You do things purposely to antagonize us, to provoke us. That's what they do. But at the end of the day, that's all because they hate themselves. If you loved yourself, honey, you wouldn't have time to go around spewing hate. That's what you wouldn't do. And if you feel like I'm giving you hate, that's because I'm giving back the energy that you exude. And that's just what it is. And that doesn't make me a whole racist, right? It makes me educated, informed, and sure of who I am and aware of who they are. Facts. Okay? So miss me with it. Miss me with it. Nicole said, come on, Queen. I'm too a runaway descendant. Exactly. All right. Please. So, you know, at the end of the day, honey, Queen, did you see the video of the grandfather confronting the teacher who put his grandson in dress? Let me tell you something. I saw that video. That's an old video, beloved. I actually reported on that, I do believe, back on Facebook. That's an old video. But if you all like, I can show it again because I do have it. Someone sent it to me. I saw this a couple of years ago. That's when it actually happened. But I can show it again. For those of you who missed it, I have it right here. Let me share my screen. Shalene says, period. I reflect what you send me 3 times 3. Exactly. Exactly, honey. That's one of the 48 laws of power, right? You show people exactly what they show you, right? And you know, they say, treat people the way you want to be treated. I don't believe in that because everyone doesn't want to be treated the way I do. So I don't treat people the way I want to be treated. I treat people the way they deserve to be treated. That's what I do. I treat people the way they deserve to be treated, honey. Okay? That's it. And that's all. Now, let me share my screen so you all can see this. Likes up, please like and share. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Thank you in advance. Here we go.
I want to see what the issue is about that.
Okay, you don't have to talk to kids.
Who's there? If you didn't, my grandson being in a dress, I mean, I'm trying to see what the issue is about that.
Okay, you don't have to talk to kids.
Who's there? If you didn't, is she the one that was in charge of the kids while my grandson?
I can't talk to you.
Why?
Because you're not on the phone. We'll have to get there back here and she will let you.
I mean, first of all, I'm coming down here because we don't do that. The transgender and all that. We don't do that.
I understand.
And I don't appreciate you encouraging him to put on no dress for the second day too. I don't appreciate that. And don't think this is going away. I'm going further with this.
Okay, you can go down and talk.
No, I'm not done talking to you. I'm letting you know the next time that you put any kid in a dress, we're gonna make you go viral.
You need to go talk to my friend. Is it? I, as a teacher.
No, I mean, you know, I got an issue with you about that. I'm not playing with you.
I'm sorry that you feel that way.
Yeah, I'm sorry that you feel that way. But you should have called me before you made the decision to put my grandson in a dress.
Okay, you can speak to me.
No, I'm speaking to you.
Please do not talk to me in that tone with my children.
I wouldn't be up here if you wouldn't put my grandson in no dress.
Again.
Well, do what you got to do.
With Miss
No, I'm taking it up with you.
Please lower your voice. You're in a classroom.
I'm taking it up with you. Well, you shouldn't have put my grandson in no dress.
Now you saw how she was trying to deflect clearly and then tell him to go talk to whoever her boss was or whatever. He said, no, I'm talking to you. That's what you do. You don't go and talk to someone else. If I have a problem with you, I'm going to confront you whether you like it or not. And he was a whole lot nicer than I would have been under the circumstances. Okay? She didn't just do that one time. She did it twice, 2 days in a row to his grandchild. First of all, she's trying to feminize him. That's for one, right? Telling him to lower his voice, says Christopher. Yes, exactly. Lower your tone. You're in the classroom. He knows where he is. Honey, don't tell me how to talk. Don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me how to conduct myself. All right? That's what you're not going to do, Miss Karen. Oh, honey, I would have gone in. I would have gone in. I shudder to think if that had been me, how things would have turned out. Because that would have really sent me over the edge. And especially how she was trying to talk so nonchalantly and then, in fact, trying to give him orders. Honey, who do you think you are? Okay? Who do you think you are? And so at the end of the day, hey, let me tell you something. Time to sue, press charges against this crap. She knew what she was doing. She knew what I wonder how he found out. I wonder if the little child went home and told, because I do believe the child was only about maybe 3 years old. The child must have gone home and told her, or some, I don't know how they found out. I don't remember. But at the end of the day, honey, that would have been a real problem. Okay? That would have been a serious problem. And in fact, I would have filed a civil suit against her for mental anguish. Yeah, absolutely. Mental anguish and all of that. Being antagonists. Yes, that's what they do. These racist devils, that's what they do. They want to antagonize you. That's what they do. And they also want to provoke you to the point of such anger that you put hands on them. Honey, I don't have to put hands on you, but I can tell you some things that will make you really, really mad and hurtful. Okay, I can say, I'll hit below the belt, in other words, with words. And every word will be absolutely biologically and scientifically true. That's how I do. Okay, please, miss me with it. Passive aggressive, yes, absolutely. Nicole said buck breaking, absolutely. This is what they've always done. And what she tried to make it look like, in the whole story, she tried to make it look like it was just playtime. And then she took out a thing of clothing and let the children pick what they wanted. And she said that the little boy picked out the dress. That's what she said. I doubt that very seriously. But here's the thing. Even if he did, you don't teach him that. You don't allow him to do that. All right? That's for parents to allow him to do if they want. Like he said, she should have contacted him first. So don't sit there and try to act like that child chose that. That's the same bullshit that Charlize Theron said when she was letting that little black boy that she adopted wear ballet slippers and dresses and blonde wigs like a Barbie doll at the age of 3. She said that's what he wanted to do. Well, here's the thing. At the age of 3, children just want to play dress up if they see someone else doing it. They don't know what they're doing. So you don't encourage that. That's what you don't do. Especially and specifically if you're not the parent or guardian. All right? So who does Becky think she is? I'm just saying. Clearly nefarious, honey. But anyway, let's continue. Now, first of all, we're back to Sheriff Grady Judd. You know what I like about Sheriff Grady Judd? I like the fact that he reports all of this stuff that goes on in his department. Some of it's hilarious, some of it's clearly nefarious, but I like that he reports it. We're going to watch a video in a second where he talks about a volunteer that was accused of selling drugs out of his patrol car. Honey, who does that? Now, I have to wonder, did he volunteer just so he could get away with trying to sell these drugs? Apparently so, as far as I'm concerned, right? And also, let me tell you all this. I was downtown early yesterday morning, before I did my live around 7:30. And so I parked my car, and as I'm paying the meter, I saw the Fulton County Sheriffs, a bunch of their cars, right? With all the blue lights flashing and sirens on. I mean, it was at least 15 of them, honey. It was like a whole motorcade of them. And I'm thinking, what in the world is going on this early in the morning? Who are they looking for? And I'm looking all around like, honey, I hope nobody starts shooting and bullets don't start flying, honey. So I got to make my morning wake-up call. I don't have time for this. Do I need to get back in the car? So anyway, I'm nosy. So I decided, I'm not going to get back in the car. I'm going to go down here and see what's going on. So right as I'm going down there thinking I'm about to get me a sip of tea and find out some dirt or some juice, well, all of a sudden, I hear loud as can be, I guess over an intercom or whatever, bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when we come for you? They start playing that song. I'm like, what are they doing? Is this their morning drill? Do they do this every day? It was absolutely hilarious, honey. They had all those police cars out there with lights, flashes, and sirens and all that, honey. They They weren't chasing nothing but clout. Turns out, I thought they were chasing a suspect, honey, somebody on the run or whatever, eluding the police. Turns out the only thing they were chasing was clout. They put on a good show, I'll say that much. And they put on a good show, honey. Because when that song started playing, all I could do was laugh. I was like, are they really serious right now? Okay, is this how they get their morning started? Is this what gets them pumped for the day? I guess that's a good way to build morale for them, honey. But it was hilarious to see. And now let's talk about this person who volunteered and up here selling all these drugs, like a pharmacist, no less. Likes up, everyone please like and share.
Now, there's things that when they come to your attention, you know that it has to be true because you can't make this stuff up. So our detectives come in to brief me and the chiefs and said, we've got information that one of our volunteer sheriff service officers, one of our volunteers, is selling oxycodone. We go, well, that's a shock. Out of the sheriff's patrol car that he's issued to drive while he volunteers. That's another shock. So we began an undercover investigation, and we find out a volunteer sheriff's service officers are volunteers. They're the ones that with the yellow lights on the car, and they help direct traffic at crashes. They work minor crashes. They look for handicap violations. They help with school crossings. And what we find is David Roberts. He's 69 years old. He's been a volunteer for us for 12 years, a very good volunteer. People say that he's friendly, he's fun to be around, he's hardworking. And here's what we have discovered so far during this investigation. He gets about 90 oxycodone with Tylenol a month for pain. And he's gotten these for over 2 years. Now, I've got all kinds of other questions, like what doctor thinks he needs 90 oxys a month for over 2 years? But when he gets these 90 oxys, his pain's not that great. So he sells them. He sells them for $10 each. Well, we infiltrate him with an undercover detective, and we find out that he's being paid $10 a piece for these. So he's making $900 a month selling his prescription drugs on the street. So now we're in competition with the street drug dealers. So we said, we'll give you $12. And he goes, okay. So he says, I'll set the location for the transaction. So we go, okay. And it's the racetrack, Highway 60 in Lake Wales. So our undercover pulls into the racetrack, dials the suspect up on the phone and said, hey man, I'm looking for you. Where are you? He said, I'm over here in the corner. Our undercover says, you in the Popo car? He goes, yeah. He won't be in it for long, but he's in it now. So we go there. He has taken the oxys out of the prescription bottle, put them in a plastic baggie, and is counting the money before he turns the drugs over to us. Why he's wearing his uniform. Listen, folks, that makes me crazy. That makes me so crazy, I want to pluck my eyeballs out one at a time. So we complete the deal. We allow him to drive away. We follow him. And he pulls into the substation. So we arrest him in the parking lot of the substation. And he's affable. And he's cooperative. And he signs a waiver. And lets us search his house where we find some marijuana. He says, it's not mine. It's my nephew's. I'm just holding it for him. Well, why is it in your bedroom? I don't know. I'm just holding it for him. And then we find two guns, a rifle and a pistol. Well, that's okay until we run a criminal history. Are you ready for this? You're talking about an epic system failure. He's a convicted felon from 52 years ago. That's right. When he was 19, he was arrested for a burglary and convicted. He goes, I can't be a convicted felon. I've been voting all the way back to Nixon. Did you hear what I said? So we have done an administrative look at our volunteer files, and they just missed it. They just flat missed it. Volunteers don't go through the normal HR detailed polygraph system that full-time employees do. They're donating time. But there's to be a complete background run on him. And 12 years ago, of course, the person that did it is long gone. Apparently, either didn't do it completely, had a failure. We're embarrassed. We're embarrassed. Mr. David Roberts, though, should recognize that selling 90 oxycodones is a 15-year minimum mandatory, and we're going to help him get every day of that in prison. He admitted, well, I've embarrassed the agency. That's the understatement of the day. But as is our policy at the sheriff's office, transparency. Somebody messed up 12 years ago on a background. He's been a stellar volunteer, very well loved, but done a good job. Oh, except when he's selling oxys out of the car, you see, using it as cover. I am livid. I am hotter than a bear butt on a tin roof in August. And there will be all our volunteer systems audited. Oh, by the way, we don't have that many VSSOs. We've already checked all the other files and re-audited them. They're all pristine except for this one.
People ask me all the time, Chris, if you could only take one supplement.
So, Nebula says he's just the one that got caught. Curly Girl says audit the whole department. Well, they say they have. But you know what's funny, though? Maestro Dan said is the guy in the photo holding his breath. Those cheeks, right? Those cheeks look bloated, like he was about to blow up a balloon, no less. But here's the thing. Claudette says, no fool like an old fool. You got that right. But here's the thing. Not only is he a little criminal, right? At the age of 69, Grandpa, please sit down. Please sit down. 69, and you're selling drugs, please. But here's the thing. Not only is he a criminal, he's a snitch. He quickly said that the marijuana belonged to his nephew, and he was just holding it. And they said, why is it in your bedroom? Explain yourself, all right? And so anyway, honey, I doubt it was his nephew's. And even if it was his nephews, here's my thing. You've already been busted. So just go ahead and take the fall. Okay? Why drag your nephew down? Because you got caught. That's all I'm saying. Clearly nefarious. Yes, Louis said lying on his nephew. Exactly. I don't believe there was a bit more his nephews than there's a man in the moon. Oh, so crazy. And then the fact that he's almost 70 years old, that makes it even more egregious. I mean, at the end of the day, he's going to spend his last days sitting up in somebody's cell. Your golden years. And you're throwing rocks at the penitentiary. That's clearly crazy. I obviously watched too much Training Day. And then somebody said that his Social Security benefits weren't cutting it. So he was clearly desperate. Wow. Well, one thing that Sheriff Grady Judd did say, and I agree with, you can't make this stuff up. And let me tell you something. The way he was going in on him and holding up his picture and all that, because somebody said he's holding his picture while he's telling all his business. Let me tell you something, honey. That's what Sheriff Grady Judd does all the time. It don't matter what color you are. He's going to call you out, honey. All right? That's what he always does. And I love it. Some of these cases are clearly hilarious as well as nefarious. That's fact. Okay, so now listen to this. Listen to this, honey. So, a transgender person impregnated two inmates at the prison. So they say the transgender prisoner who got a fellow inmate pregnant is a 27-year-old killer who's serving 30 years for the manslaughter of his foster father. Now, here's the thing. Another report said that, in fact, he got two females pregnant. This one only talks about the one. But they say one of the women, so I guess they are saying there's more than one because they say one of the women. Demetrius Minor impregnated is a double murderer who killed a couple as they returned home from their engagement party. How nefarious. Can you imagine that? Somebody just got married, they come home to be murdered? Wow. Devils, clearly. Now, the forbidden love inside the walls of the Edna Mahan Correctional Facility will result in lifer Latonya Bellamy, age 35, giving birth early in the fall. And they say, Bellamy says, we found love in a hopeless place. Now, she didn't quote Rihanna, did she? We found love in a hopeless place. And so, New Jersey's Department of Corrections admitted on Tuesday that two women prisoners have become pregnant after having sex with transgender women at Mahon. Now, that's the state's only women's prison. Minor has admitted online that she is responsible for both of the pregnancies. Minor also complained that all three inmates are now being held in solitary confinement. The 800-inmate Mahan facility began housing transgender women, including those that have yet to undergo gender reassignment surgery. Last year, after a lawsuit brought by an inmate and the ACLU, this is where this all came to be. And they say it now has 27 trans prisoners. A source familiar with the prison told DailyMail.com that cell doors are often left open during recreation time. So inmates can theoretically use those periods to sneak into other cells or slip into bathrooms for quickie sex. Wow. Now you have to ask yourself, with this all being known, do you all think all of these people are actually really transgender, or some of them are just posing? Because think about it. A man who knows that he's going to prison for a long period of time could easily just start acting like a whole transgender just so he can get in there with all those women. Think about it. Less dangerous and more nookie. Okay? Please. I'm just saying, honey. Now, William Sullivan, president of the union that represents most of the state's correctional officers, told DailyMail.com that the pregnancies comes as no real surprise, pointing out that we foresaw this in 2019 when we filed an injunction to stop the transfer of inmates to the women's facility that identifies transgender. We caution that this could probably end up badly, meaning with pregnancy. Now, these congregate showers, recreation, and we can't watch all 800 inmates every single minute of the day. In her essay, Bellamy said conditions inside Mahon breeds a pervasive culture of rape. However, she added in all capital letters, I was not raped. Despite it not being permitted, I fell in love and had consensual sex with a woman who is trans. Consensual sex is prohibited as an act in Edna Mahon. Saying, I did what is natural to every human being. I formed a natural and genuine bond that led to an extensive amount of support and understanding and love. What incarcerated individuals do not yearn for a second chance at life when your teens, 20s, and 30s are withering away behind walls? I mean, you know, like they said, they should have known these types of things would absolutely happen, okay? So they say when your 30s and all of that are withering away behind four walls, a steel door, and barbed wire gates, your soul feels as if you're suffocating inside, and the very air you breathe causes internal convulsions. Imagine having someone understand the true capacity of internal feelings that are hard to describe, but a simple look or gesture brings forth understanding. You know, amazing that they use such poetic words as they speak of their love, almost like a Harlequin romance, no less. Minor was just 16 when he broke into Theodis Butts' home in Gloucester Township, New Jersey. Butts had taken him in as a foster child, but Minor was no longer living with him, according to the report. Now, he stabbed Butts, who was 69, stabbed him several times, and then fled to New York, where he was then arrested. He was also convicted of carjacking. He approached a couple whose infant son was in their Pontiac Grand Prix at the time and pointed a Glock 45 in the woman's face. The couple got their baby out of the car before Minor sped away with it. Well, thank God for that. He started to transition into a woman in 2020 and was transferred out of the male prison system in Mahon, where he is now prisoner 000494475E. Since being incarcerated, Minor, who now calls herself Demi, has tried to turn her life around, becoming something of a jailhouse lawyer, advocating for other prisoners and representing her unit on the Inmate Liaison Committee. In an online biography, she says, during Demi's time at Edna Mahon, she has faced sexual abuse and harassment at the hands of correctional officers and other inmates, which she has reported and was only partially accommodated for. Bellamy was age 19 when she, her cousin, and a second man killed Nia Hack, age 25, and Michael Muchiaki, age 27, in Jersey City, New Jersey, as the couple unloaded gifts from their car at 3 a.m. on a Sunday morning in April of 2010. Honey, that's so sad. These people didn't even get to live their lives, honey. Clearly nefarious. Now, she told a court that her cousin shot Mukiaki in the head and then handed her his handgun and told her, you want to shoot a gun? Shoot the effing gun. Like, these are people with no regard for human life, okay? This is if they were going to rob the people. You have a gun. They could have just pulled the gun on them and took the valuables, but they murdered them. And then to say, you want to shoot a gun, shoot the effing gun, like, okay, target practice on a whole human. So nefarious, honey. She claimed in court that she was paralyzed by fear because she thought her cousin would kill her if she appeared opposed to the robbery. No, that's not what it was, because he clearly said, you want to shoot a gun, shoot the effing gun. So obviously she'd already said something about wanting to kill somebody or use a gun. I'm just saying. So she fired the gun into the ground away from Hake. However, in an earlier police interview, she said she fired twice in the air and once at the ground, and the shots may have hit the victim. Honey, she shot those victims. Please miss me with it. Please miss me with it. So after the killings, they tried to steal the couple's car, but couldn't get it to move because of its steering lock, and so they fled on foot. So they killed the people for nothing, trying to carjack the people and couldn't even get the darn car. How stupid. Bellamy successfully appealed her sentence of life plus 30 years last year on the grounds that the judge improperly rejected her request for access to her Child Protective Services records that showed she had spent years in custody of a family member who sexually abused her and that he was biased against her. The judge, Paul de Pascale, told Bellamy before sentencing her, "I have never been exposed to such a deviant and senseless act. This defendant does not possess normal impulse control and is capable of extreme violence, and if released, is highly likely to offend again." Now, in her online essay, Bellamy says both she and her lover were abused sexually at very young ages. She was 6 and he was 8. Well, let me tell you something. There's a lot of people in this world who are abused as children, either sexually or other ways physically, and they don't turn out to be killers. So please miss me with that, okay? Because I've dealt with kids who've had those issues, and they didn't become whole murderers and convicts and criminals and thugs. That has nothing to do with it. That has all to do with the person's psychology, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, you can either take what life gives you and turn it around for your own good and betterment, or you can take it and use it to be nefarious and then use that as a scapegoat or use that as a crutch as to why you do the things you do at the end of the day. She says since falling for minor, her time behind bars has begun to fly by. I'm sure it has. Can you imagine just sitting there in your cell, just wanting and wishing you had someone to love and hold and all of that and tell your deepest, most innermost feelings to, and then all of a sudden, bam, one day somebody shows up and they got the package and all of that? Please. Of course, that made your time go by fast. Love was the reason, she says. Somehow, in some way, love is utterly forbidden, yet it was conquered and grasped. Surprisingly, a pregnancy came about, an innocent human being is forming and will arrive shortly. Pregnant in prison is a blessing of mockery. She claimed correctional officers are now mocking her pregnancy by playing baby songs over the public address system and making references to a $1 million baby, which she said is exasperating my pregnancy anxiety. She added that if the correctional staff had done their jobs efficiently, the conceiving of a baby would never have taken place here at Edna Mahan. So it's their fault? Oh, okay. Got it. Wait. Oh, so nefarious, honey. Oh, so nefarious. Big Cat Sister said the transgender at Fulton County got raped. Oh, I know what you're saying. Raped bad by the men in lockup, had to bring her to the hospital. I bet they did. And so it's really like a catch-22. Because if you put them in there with men, they'll get, sexually assaulted, very likely, right? And not to mention harassed and attacked and other things. But then if you put them in there with the women, this could happen. So Rain Love said it was a blessing for real. I mean, a child is always a blessing. Bless the little angel. It's coming here, no fault of its own. I wonder how it's going to fare in life. Surely they'll give it to someone. Maybe it'll be adopted. I don't know. At the end of the day, why don't they have their own unit? That's a good idea. Now that would be something to think about. Why don't they have their own? But here's the thing, though. Even if they did give them their own unit, beloved, the same thing could happen because they'd have transgender men and transgender women, right? Because I doubt very seriously they're going to put transgender men in with biological men because that could be dangerous as well. So it's almost like a catch-22. Terry Hinn said that's what Funky Deniva suggested. Yeah. So anyway, honey, this is all very interesting. All very interesting indeed. Lee Harp said just messy. All right. So I'm just saying, they can't just look in themselves and say, I'm not a good person. Criminals have the nerve to play it as if good people don't exist. Stealing personalities wouldn't be too much out of their character. Criminal says, well, it goes with the territory. Nebula says they need their own jail. Ladybug says messy boots. You know what? I'm going to see if I can get a pass, right? And go to the prison and interview some of them. Okay? Jennifer said, Queen, what's the difference between Becky and Karen? Their age. You usually call Becky someone who's between, you know, I would say 18 to maybe 30. And then after that, from 30 to 50, maybe 55 would be Karen's. And then after that, it becomes Susan. Now you're into Susans. That's the only difference as far as I'm concerned. The ages, the age range. Ray Love said, just make the whole jail smell like bussy. King 69 said, or Gretchen. Right, or Gertrude. Fatty Fatima said, thank you, Queen, for the clarification. You're welcome, beloved. You all are absolutely too much. I absolutely cannot. A criminal said an interview would be nice. Yes, it would. Absolutely. Y'all think I'm joking. I'm so serious right about now. So with that all being said, I'm going to conclude this broadcast, honey. My work here is done, all right? Now, I'm going to be coming back later on, so stay tuned and look out for those notifications, right? Probably around 6 o'clock, all right? I have some work to do, and I'm probably going to be going live again around 6 o'clock. So make sure you stay tuned for your second dose of your daily vitamins. Until then, everyone have a blessed and beautiful day. Do something productive and constructive, never destructive, right? Each one teach one. Hold on. Where's my cursor? Maybe I won't be able to end this live after all. What is going on here, honey? Clearly the cursor is nowhere to be seen. So anyway, yeah, that's real crazy. Hold on. I'm going to sit here like Snoop Dogg did that one day. Y'all remember that day when Snoop Dogg was on live for like 8 hours? There we go. All right. So I can't end it. I'm like, what is going on, honey? All right. So anyway, with that all being said, everyone enjoy the rest of your day, beloveds. And I hope to see you on the next chat. King 69 says, stuck with us, Queen. Okay. It looks that way. And so anyway, I hope to see you on the next chat. Enjoy your day. And don't forget to look for the notifications. And if you have not been receiving your notifications, please make sure that you double check to make sure you're in fact still subscribed to the channel. All right. So that all been said, I will talk to you all again soon. Peace.
In order for you and me to devise some kind of method or strategy to offset some of the events or a repetition of the events that have taken place here in Los Angeles recently, we have to go to the root. We have to go to the cause. Dealing with the condition itself is not enough.
Dear Mr. Massa, I'm just trying to mind my own business. What's the matter? It's just another day, another black king captured. I'm about to lose my brain, stuck inside this ghetto rapture. I got a lot of smoke. If you want it, you can have it. They want a hat trick, but this is black girl magic. Ain't talking about the kind that'll make you disappear, but I'm talking about the power of the melanin within. Ain't looking for trouble, but I'ma say this one time. I put 2 dukes up if you try to touch mine. We still want justice for Tamir and Trayvon. You say you don't see color, but racism ain't blind. They targeting little kids whose skin look just like mine. So I'm paranoid, it's a war zone outside. And I'm a black queen, so if you ask me to step out of my car, you gon' have to snatch me. Cause I ain't going no damn well. Had to spend my whole life living unfair. Ancestors got my back and they right here. You can never understand, it's a nightmare. Living in my black shoes by the black rules. You keep your handshake, I don't dap coons. The white man that go nuts if he cash you. But you all on his side like a damn fool. Make it make sense.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
We are exploited. We are downtrodden.
Make it make
We are
sense.
denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
AHMADYYYAH.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
AHMADYYYAH.
oppression and exploitation
Queen.
away from us or aside from us is come together
Queen.
against the common enemy. Who taught you to hate the texture of your
AHMADYYYAH.
hair? Who taught you to hate
the color of your skin.
Parents, pay attention to the books, the school system, even to your little children. Lies mixed with wisdom. His skin too bright, so he was blind to the prison. My skin just right, so I collide with division. You trying to pray to God, but we tired of religion. No savior saving, we got to save our savings. We used to pay miss, how we gon' make the slave rich? But who's to blame, and tell me why you complaining? We need a team effort just to rule the nation. Like a bad relationship, missing communication. We missing moderation. They trying to get a poison to my population. No reparations. I'm getting tired of Satan.
We are oppressed.
Queen. I'm getting tired of waiting.
We are downtrodden.
Queen.
We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
AHMADYYYAH.
So the only way we're going to get some of this